Yo, what's up guys, my name is Mr. Freeze2244 and welcome to a Returnal video. Though this is my very first video I've done on Returnal. Usually I'm known for doing my Hitman videos, but in this video, in Returnal, I'm going to show you how to beat the first boss in the game called Phrike. And I'm going to show you the stuff that you need to know when you're taking on this boss, and his patterns and stuff like that when you're fighting this boss as well. He's quite a difficult one for a very first boss in the game, but you are going to need to do a number of things in order to get this done as easy as possible, and I'm going to make sure you are prepared for it. So the first thing you need to know really is when you are going through this the biome, you need to make sure you are upgrading your health at all times. When you're going around the whole entire biome, make sure you are picking up the health buffs all the way around. Try not to get hit basically by any of the enemies, and make sure you're trying to buff your health as much as possible. So this is before you go into the boss fight, so let's get through the stuff that you need to do as well. So on your way to the boss, you'll come across this room in here. This is a room where you can fabricate certain equipment, and you can use your oblights to actually purchase some of these things. And there's one item in particular that I highly recommend you unlocking and to buy with your oblights, and it's the astronaut figurine. Make sure you buy that if you have enough oblights, because that is a very important tool. If you to die at any point during the boss fight, you will come back and you'll get basically an extra life. So that's why this is a really important tool for the entire game really. So if you do die, you will respawn at one point with a lot of health as well. Speaking of health though, what you want to do is while you're in this room, as long as you've got enough oblights, go ahead and purchase this integrity augment. It should be always here. Increases your max integrity, which is your health, by 25%. So it's quite a big buff, and it's a permanent buff as well that stays with you. Well, unless of course you die and you start a new cycle, in which case you have to go and get it again. But yeah, if you don't have enough oblights, just be sure to keep going around, looking around the biome and taking out enemies and gathering enough oblights, because this is a very useful tool to take into the battle of the boss fight itself, because extra health is always nice. Next thing I would recommend is the particular weapon, is the tachymatic carbine rifle. Specifically, you want to try and get your weapon efficiency up as high as possible, at least 4, preferably 5 if you can do that, and get the tachymatic carbine rifle. You want to look for the bonus damage perk as well. So you see the bonus damage there. High bonus damage does a lot more damage than a regular carbine or a pistol. The pistol does very little minimum damage. I wouldn't recommend that at all. And the shotgun is very good, but with this particular boss fight, you are going to be doing long range engagements. So because you're not going to do close range fights, I wouldn't recommend using the shotgun. Use the tachymatic carbine. Try and get as much weapon efficiency as possible, and make sure you get high bonus damage as well if you can. If not, just make sure you just take this into the fight no matter what you do. So for the boss fight for itself, you need to make sure you use your alt fire straight away and keep strafing left and right away from the enemy's attacks. So he has multiple attacks. He will fire these purple things at you, and which are quite easy to avoid. Then he will fire these red fireballs at you, and the laser. When the laser comes at you, make sure you are dodging to left or right. But the main key to this fight really is to keep your distance and just keep shooting, and use your overload as well as much as possible. Keep an eye on that little meter in the middle. If your adrenaline is high, you'll be able to do a little bit more damage as well, which is good, and your overload will be a lot easier to achieve. But yeah, he does have multiple attacks, but you'll see he will have different things that he has to do. But you have to make sure you just keep your distance with this and keep strafing left and right. I wouldn't recommend just keep dashing, because even though you have an invincibility thing there, there's just no need. The only time you need to dash is when he does like a close range attack, which I'll show you in the next second phase right here. So in the second phase, he is going to do this laser attack. He's going to smash the floor as well, and you're going to have a red ring coming towards you. And then immediately, he's going to try and do a melee right here like that. That's when you want to dodge it straight away. And then jump over the grid, and then back away. Keep backing away as much as possible. Again, keeping your distance is the key to winning this fight really, and just keep blasting. With this laser there, just dash through it or just jump. It's a quite difficult attack to avoid, especially this melee. He's so quick. Like I said, I tried my best not to get hit, even though knowing what he's doing, it's still very difficult. And this is just the first boss. So yeah, with these basic attacks, I shouldn't have done that. But yeah, with these basic attacks, they're not too bad. But with this one here, the close range melee is where he really does mess you up. So you just want to keep your distance so he stops you from slashing him. Wouldn't recommend using a melee either, because if you do hit him and you get greedy with the melee, you can just take you out really easily. So this is the final phase now. This is where he starts getting more aggressive and starts adding all to his arsenal. He starts putting all of the attacks into one. Like, he's doing multiple things now. There's a lot of things to look at on the screen, but again, the key is just to keep your distance. Keep blasting away. And if you have an integrity consumable, you can go ahead and use that if you want to, if you feel you need it. But with that astronaut as well, like I said, even if you die, it will respawn you in exactly the same spot, and you'll get like a chunk of health as well to go with that. So you just start where you left off. So it's a really good tool to have when you're going into boss fights. Highly recommend that. But the main problem I always see with this boss is the close range melee that he does. If that catches you out, he can really mess you up. And that sweeping attack right there is quite difficult to avoid as well. Especially when you don't know he's going to do it twice like that. But yeah, even when you know what you're doing, it's still quite difficult. There we go. So obviously when you beat this boss, you are going to get a key to get into the next biome. So that's a really cool, useful thing. So even if when you die after this point, you won't have to do this boss again. If you don't want to, you can do it, but you don't have to do this boss again if you don't want to. But overall, that's my just small little tips for this particular boss fight. Hopefully that's helped you out at least a little bit. And if you want me to do more of these, let me know in the comments. I might do the second boss fight. I already recorded that one. So yeah, let me know. I'm interested to know if I should keep doing this sort of thing, or any kind of other videos you want me to do for Returnal. Let me know in the comments, because I'm interested. I think this game is really good. I really enjoy playing it. But thank you very much for watching. Feel free to drop a like on this video if it helped you out. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hit the bell notification to be notified of all future videos and live streams. Consider supporting me on Patreon, or even becoming a member of the channel by clicking join the button below, or clicking the link in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Cheers.